Hi guys, I'm YELLOWSTONE and welcome to my fly tying channel. This channel contains hundreds of different videos covering all manner of different patterns, techniques and styles of fly tying. There's something here to suit almost everybody, so hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, let's get on with the show.
Hi guys, welcome back. So tonight we're going to be tying another one of the flies from the greater Yellowstone area, and this one is the Burlap Nymph. Now my understanding is this was created by a guy called Fred Peterson, and it's a general purpose nymph pattern. I suppose here we'd be looking at mayflies, but you could use it to imitate a caddis or stonefly or anything that sort of swims under the water, because it has that general buggy sort of feel to it. So I'm going to use a nymph style hook, so a long shank hook. Now you can do this anything down to a size 16. For the purposes of the video here I'm using a size 8 because it's a bit easier for detail for you to see what's going on, but generally I suppose a size 12 or lower would be the way to go. So I'm going to start here with a black tying silk, and this one happens to be this Textreme 60 black, and this is probably my new preferred thread of choice. It's thin, strong, does what it says on the tin. So we'll run that down the shank, and then for the tail of this fly what we're going to use is some grizzly hackle fibers. So I'm just going to take one of the bigger feathers from the back of this and just take off a few fibers from down near the base. So we'll get rid of the fluffy stuff so it doesn't interfere, and then just take a bunch of that, chop and change it between your two hands until you're happy with the way the bunch looks, and then set that on at the back. I'm going to hold it up on top and wrap back onto it. And then tie that in forwards. So I'm going to tie an unweighted version of it. So you could put a gold bead on this if you wanted to get that little bit deeper. You could put a lead wire underbody on it if you want to get it that little bit deeper but not to have the gold at the front, or if you want something that fishes fairly high up in the water, no weight, as in the one we're going to tie now. So I'm going to add the rib, and that rib is gold wire. So I'll set that on the far side. Now you notice I started it up here, and I'll run the whole way length of the fly, and the reason for that is that you don't then end up with steps. If you only tied it in here, you'd end up with bulk building up here, so that the back end of your body would be abnormally thick compared to the front. That's not natural looking. So as the name of this fly suggests, burlap. So burlap is a sack, by my understanding. So when you pull it apart, you'll get this sort of woolly stuff. So the bigger the fly, obviously, the more you would use. This tends to be multi-stranded, so I'm going to pull this apart. It happens to be 3 strands. Unwind it. And then I'm going to tie this in. So again, I'm going to tie this in along the length that I intend the body to be. And that means again that I have a level body to wind onto, or a level underbody, shall we say. So this stuff then, I'm going to start to get it to wrap, and then if you want it to be segmented, what I'd do is to tighten this up, so twist it and it'll form a cord, and when we wrap like that, then we should see a segmented sort of body as we wrap. And you can see it's quite rough. The fibers are sort of sticking out of it, giving you quite a buggy appearance. Now as I'm going, I'm just twisting as we go here to keep it nice and tight, because otherwise it will unravel as you're going. And then at the front here, I'm just going to tie it in. You can see I'm tying it along the length of what will be the thorax, and then trim that off and tie it down. So when I take the wire, so if you want the wire to be prominent, you can wrap it counter to the way you wrap the body, or just wrap it in the same direction and it'll sort of sit in a little bit more. So number of wraps, I wouldn't go any more than 5 if possible on a body section. I think it starts to get cramped after that. Makes it look unnatural. So 5 is sort of the norm. Get to the front here, take the wire down along the top of the shank, tie it in until we get a couple of mil shy of the eye, and then just take this and helicopter it, and it'll break off without you having to damage your good fly tying scissors. Now if you want, you can roughen the body up a bit, so you could use some sort of a brush or Velcro or something along the lines of that, just to release a few more fibers, get it that wee bit buggier. And then we're going to put on the thorax. So thorax in this fly is peacock herl. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take a couple of strands of that, and how I'm going to do this is I'm going to put them behind my tying thread and then catch the middle of them, match the 2 tip ends up here, and then I can slide that down to the shank and wrap backwards until I hit the body. Then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a little bit of wax onto my tying thread. Swap over hands here, and then I'm going to twist that around my tying thread. And that just gives me a strong sort of dubbing rope version of the peacock herl, less likely to fall apart. Tie that in forward, then let it unravel. And then take a turn across those to tie them in. So that is our body and our thorax done. It's time to put a hackle on. So the hackle on this is back to our grizzle. So we're going to take a small one of these here. And these are just to give the idea of legs, I suppose. I've stripped the base of a small hackle. I'm just going to tie it in at the head there and come back. Trim off the stalk, and then we'll put on the hackle pliers and wind this. So it gets the tip of our hackle. And then we're just going to create a little collar hackle here. Two or 3 turns should be enough. Snap it off or cut it off if you're not confident with that. Then I'm just going to pull all this back and then create a neat head and finish the head off. So as I said, I use my hand. If you're used to use a whip finish tool, then use that. Trim that off, and then we varnish the head. So for varnishing, I'm going to use a Celere Clear to varnish. I'll just hold the hackles back support my finger with either thumb or finger of this other hand where possible, and just go round the head like that. So that's our fly tie. That is the Burlap Nymph. Straightforward little thing, but give it a try. Multi-purpose pattern, and as I said, if you want to, you can weight it with either beads or underbodies of lead or non-lead wire, whatever suits or whatever's legal in your area. So if you like what you see, give us a like, subscribe, check out all the other videos on the channel. There's heading for 700 of them at this stage. Tell all your friends, and until next time, tight lines, and thanks for watching.